Good morning, my little rays of sunshine. Here I am in the toy room, Phoebe and I, with nobody else to play with. It is getting very lonely. So today I'm going to read That Rabbit Belongs to Emily Brown by Cressida, Cowell, and Neil Layton. This is a funny book, and I bet most of you remember this because we've read this a lot. Once upon a time, there was a girl called Emily Brown and an old gray rabbit called Stanley. One day, I'm trying to get this better for you. Let me see if I can do this like this. There we go. One day, Emily Brown and Stanley were launching themselves into outer space to look for alien life forms when a rat-a-tat-tat came to the kitchen door. You see her in her spacesuit? And the bunny's going with her. I wonder who's at the kitchen door. It was the chief footman to the queen. He said, "The queen has very kindly noticed your rabbit. She would like to have that bunny-wunny. In return, she offers this brand new golden teddy bear." Look at Emily Brown's eyes. Emily Brown looked at the queen's teddy bear. It was stiff and new and gold and horrible. It had staring eyes and no smile at all. "No, thank you," said Emily Brown. "This rabbit is not for sale. And his name isn't Bunny-Wunny. It's Stanley." And Emily Brown politely shut the door. Well, that's that. She took care of that, didn't she? An hour or so later, Emily Brown and Stanley were riding through the Sahara Desert on their motorbike when there was a rat-a-tat-tat at the garden door. It was the army. The captain saluted and said, "Her Most Royal Highness Queen Gloriana III greets Miss Emily Brown, and she would still like to have that bunny-wunny. In return, she offers her brand new golden teddy bear and 10 talking dolls that say, 'Mama, Mama.'" You see him? Can you see it there? Do you see the 10 talking dolls on his back? Well, I guess she didn't take care of it, but now she did, right? I don't know. Let's see what happens. Emily Brown said, "I don't want 10 talking dolls. I want my rabbit, and his name isn't Bunny-Wunny. It's Stanley." Ooh, she's even pointing her finger. And Emily Brown sent that army away less politely this time. So she did take care of it, didn't she? A few days later, Emily Brown and Stanley were deep-sea diving off the Great Barrier Reef when there was a rat-a-tat-tat at the garden door. Can you see them? There's deep-sea diving. Look at that. Whoa, that looks like fun. Look at Bunny-Wunny. Oh, I'm sorry. His name's Stanley, not Bunny-Wunny. Oop. It was the Navy. The Admiral saluted and said, Her Most Glorious Royalness Queen Gloriana III greets Miss Emily Brown, and she would like you to hand over that rabbit at your earliest convenience. She points out that she is the poshest person on the planet, and Bunny-Wunny will be much better off with her. In return, she offers you the brand new golden teddy bear, 10 talking dolls that say, "Mama, Mama," and 50 rocking horses that rock forever. Whoa, that's a lot of stuff. Do you think she'll take it and give up Stanley? Let's read. "I don't care who she is," said Emily Brown. "This rabbit belongs to me, and his name isn't Bunny-Wunny. It's Stanley. And she sent the Navy away. There she is, pointing that finger. You know, when people point their finger, they mean business, don't they? Oh, look at this pretty page. Isn't that pretty? No words on that page. A few weeks later, Emily Brown and Stanley were climbing through the Amazon rainforest when there was a rat-a-tat-tat at the garden door. Oh, that is such a pretty garden, isn't it? Let me go back. Isn't that pretty? I think that's my favorite page so far. It was the Air Force. The wing commander saluted and said, "Her Excellence, the Most Mighty Queen Gloriana III, greets Miss Emily Brown and says she must have the bunny wunny right now, or she will not answer for the consequences. In return, we will give her a brand new golden teddy, 10 talking dolls that say, 'Mama, Mama,' and 50 rocking horses that rock forever, and all the toys she could ever desire." And there's the Royal Air Force. Whoa. Oh, that's a lot of things. You think she's going to take it and give up her Stanley? Now, Emily Brown was fed up. She sent that Air Force away, and she pinned a big notice on the garden gate that read, "This rabbit is not for sale, and his name is not Bunny Wunny. It's Stanley." And she signed it Emily Brown. A few months later, Emily Brown and Stanley were lying fast asleep in bed, dreaming of all the adventures they would have the next day, when there was absolutely no noise at all at the door, or the gate, or the window. And look at the speech bubble says, "Shh." What do you think's going to happen? Look at lots of horses. What's going to happen? Shh. Let's read and find out. Silently in crept the Queen's special commandos. Look at speech bubble. Shh. And they stole the rabbit that belonged to Emily Brown. They stole the rabbit. Oh my goodness. When Emily Brown woke up the next morning, for the first time in her life, there was no Stanley. Look at her eyes. Look at her eyes. She's wondering, no Stanley. That would be like if someone stole Froggy. Emily Brown was so cross, she knew just what had happened. She marched straight up to the palace on the hill. She knocked on that naughty queen's front door. Rat-a-tat-tat. Emily Brown ran into the palace, and there was that naughty queen, crying like anything. The first thing she said was, "Thank goodness you've come, Emily Brown. There's something wrong with Bunny Wunny." Oh, no. Do you see the queen? There's her speech bubble telling Emily Brown something happened to Bunny Wunny. I wonder what happened. There was indeed something wrong with Stanley. That silly naughty queen had put him in the royal washing machine all night, and he'd come out an odd color of pink. The royal dressmaker had stuffed him full of stuffing so he wasn't flippy-floppy anymore, and worst of all, they had sewn up his mouth where Emily Brown had picked it away, and Stanley wasn't smiling anymore. Stanley was miserable. Look at his mouth. Oh my goodness. Uh-oh. There we go. "Oh, Emily Brown, there is something wrong with Bunny Wunny. What can you do?" asked the queen. "There certainly is," said Emily Brown. "I shall take Stanley home." The Queen started crying harder than ever. "I have all the toys in the world, but none as nice as Stanley." Oh my goodness, can you see all her tears? Oh my goodness. Emily Brown felt sorry for that silly Queen, so she went to the royal toy cupboard and she took down that brand new golden teddy bear and she placed it in the Queen's lap. Can you see that? Look at here. She climbed in, she got it down, and she's going to give it to the Queen. Do you think that's going to make the Queen happy? That brand new golden teddy? Well, Emily Brown whispered so that no one else could hear. And she said, "You take that brand new teddy bear and you play with him all day. You sleep with him all night. Hold him very tight and be sure to have lots of adventures. And then maybe one day you will wake up with a royal toy of your own." And Emily Brown and Stanley went home. Do you think that the royal queen is going to do that? That was the last Emily Brown and Stanley heard from that silly, naughty queen for quite some time. But one day, a couple of months later, as Emily Brown and Stanley were exploring the outermost regions of the Milky Way, there came a rat-a-tat-tat at the kitchen door. It was the mailman with a letter for Emily Brown, and it just said, "Thank you." And that is the story of That Rabbit Belongs to Emily Brown. It says on the back, "This rabbit is not for sale, and his name isn't Bunny Wunny. It's Stanley." It's a fun story, isn't it? This was a long story today. I hope you like it. I miss you, little girls. You be good. And you know what? Make sure you shine today. Bye.